Good morning, folks. We'll be starting in just 1 second. Get that there. Get that there. And we're almost there. There we go. All right. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let me just put my lights on real quick. It'll just take 1 second, okay? Give me 1 second. Okay. Figure it'd be a little more livelier with the lights on. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see everybody. Let's say hello to everybody. And it is cold today. Not as cold as yesterday, but it's still pretty cold today. We got Arnolfo, we got Steve, we got Yuri, we got Brendan, we got Alpha Diaz, Cheese Grate Trader, Low IQ Johnny. Don't be so hard on yourself, Johnny. Devin Randy, Mr. Ex-Police Officer, Chief of Louisiana, Dragon Dawn, retired police officer of Louisiana, Dr. Luke. We got John. We got Roddy, another retired police officer. We got two retired chief of polices here, folks. I got to behave myself, or I'm going to get arrested, or Clyde is going to get arrested. All right, Delbert, Gregory, High Grounder, Mark, Adrian, Stacy, Pia DeBrock, Jill, Stefan, Ivano, Ruth, Dave, Jeff, Dave, Chuck, for Forrest. Hey, Forrest. Forrestomania. Good morning, Forrest. Sapster, Al, Lloyd, Mindy, or Mind, excuse me, Scotty, David, Robert, Bernie the Bear is here. Always good to have Bernie the Bear. We got Ernest, Duzzy, Greg, Bill, Doug, Javad. Good morning. Matt, good morning. Graham, good morning. He's good. He's doing really well. Thank you for asking. My son is now in Australia. He's now looking for apartments and cars. He's got to get himself a car and an apartment. I'll keep you guys updated from time to time, but he's doing good so far. Says the weather there is really nice, and I think 87, something like that. James is here. Sin is here. Culpable. Wade, Genevieve, Bull Rider, Charles, Leo, Kirk, Peanuts, Bob. Good morning, Bob. Hope your weekend was reasonable. George, Tom, Dave, Stan, Angie. Good morning, Angie. Laura, Pete, Robert, Kurt, Penny. Good morning, Penny. Good to see you. I hope you have a nice lunch with your friend. Bob, Kevin, Jane. Good morning, Jane. Scott. Good morning, Scott. Russ, Harold. Good morning, Becky. Scorp double O 007. I like that. That's a good one. Nestor, Manuel, Lloyd, Don, Walter, Hefe, Henry, Kevin. Thank you, Bob, for being such a great actuary. Hopium, Ed, Keith, Steve, Julio, Robert, Richard, Ray, Jody, Bruce, Mike, Devin, Jason. Good morning, Jason. CJ, Donald, Eduardo, Sylvia, Murray. Good morning, Murray. North Carolina, 11 degrees. It felt like 11 degrees yesterday, but it felt like 9 degrees according to the weatherman, but it was actually 24. It was the coldest weather I've ever experienced in Florida since I've been here in 8 years. Yesterday. Diamond Jen, you too, Diamond Jen. Mark, LMAO. We got Scotty, we got Bruce, we got Devin. Rock, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Mark, everybody else, good morning. If I did not say good morning, I apologize. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not trying to exclude anybody here. I'm going to reset my watch later. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. Good morning, Sandy. Good to see you. And I'll respond to your latest email a little later. I just didn't have time. Hog's Day, Groundhog's Day, of course. Just saw a shadow, hunker down from another 6 weeks of this. Eagle Beagle, good morning, Eagle Beagle. Always good. 11 degrees, North Carolina and Massachusetts. Ruth, good morning. Richie, good morning. Ann, good morning. If I did not say good morning to somebody, I do apologize. Good morning, everybody. Ann, Ruth, Matt, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's start off with some pleasantries. First things first, here is the link to, you guys get it first. Here's a link to all the earnings, the big earnings. Good morning, Yolanda. Good morning, Ivan. These are the big earnings that are coming out. I'll post it in the Telegram channel as well. Make sure you're subscribed to the Telegram channel. One here. Let me just put it. Biggest earnings and expected volatility this week. Okay, there you go. I posted it there just for you guys. You have it in the Telegram channel and you have it here. Okay. Hey, Ruth, good to see you. All right, so you have that. As far as Fed data is concerned, we've got JOLTS tomorrow. We've got PMI today, which I don't think is going to have a major impact. And we have employment. This is employment. By the way, you'll be happy to know, you'll be very happy to know, I'm not seeing any delayed data this week. So I think I'm fingers and toes crossed that that is over. Hey, William. Hey, Hawkeye. Jeff, good morning. Where's your son, William? I don't see your son here today. All right. All right. Let's talk a little bit about this. If you're just coming in here right now, please make sure you're watching at 1080p. Don't do what happened to me last week and settle for 720. Make sure you're watching at 1080p. Okay? Go ahead. And if you don't mind, give us one thumbs up and join our channel around here. If you do that, you'll be notified immediately when we get a video. Hey, Jean, good to see you. Jeff, good to see you. Good to see you, everybody. So please make sure you're on 1080p, okay? 1080p. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning. All right. All right. Now let's talk about the market. So as I said, the important data this week is going to be the employment situation. The ADP report, which comes out on Wednesday, is going to reflect on the employment situation. But this is going to be the big report of the week. And then again, we have JOLTS report, the ADP report, a couple of reports, but this is the big one. This is the heavyweight right here. Okay, this is the heavyweight. Good morning, Mega Weekes. Rock, Richard, BH, Marlon. Good morning, Jesse. Trading my way to retirement. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. So the employment is going to be the big report. Okay, this one right here, and obviously consumer sentiment, which follows it, which doesn't really lead to anything that great. You too, Brent. Good morning, Jesse. Good morning, everybody. That's okay, Jesse. It's all good. You're here. That's what matters. Let's talk about the bond market. As I mentioned last week, the bond market is setting up for a mean A-line. This is a perfect A-line pattern. Look, on Friday, tried to rally above the VWAP, the anchored VWAP. It couldn't. Today, this morning, it tried to rally. It already made a lower low. This is an A-line. I'm just letting you know this is an A-line right here, okay? To the downside on the bond market. We tried to break the 50. I warned you that this looks like it's going to just come right back down. It did exactly as we said. Big surprise. And now I'm expecting a little more consolidation, possibly some more downside. Okay, so yeah, a little rip and dip trades. Good morning to you, Louis. Good morning to you, Jeremiah. Good morning to you, Michael. Good morning to you, Kai. A lot of people coming in this morning. Okay, real quick, folks. VIP room link again. Let me just give you the link. This is the VIP room. I will be talking about Alpha Zone Pro and how to draw levels. I'm going to show you my 5 levels. I'm going to talk about options. I'm going to talk about the best way to trade it. I'm going to talk about the MB Master Blaster Disaster Oscillator. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here's my Telegram channel. This is where I post all the uncensored goodies. Yeah, I'm also worried about the bond market. This is the Telegram channel. I just posted the earnings sheet. I'm going to post the levels this morning. And this afternoon, I'm going to show you how to trade those levels. Here is Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show. I'm not sure what they have on deck for today, but I'm sure they could tell us. Goose and Cam, good morning. Stefan says, I've been seeing people panic about that bank failure, but banks fall all at the same time. Yeah, they do. They do. That's right. Good morning, Scuba Chris. Maybe Clyde will be underwater basket weaving, and you may be seeing him scuba under there when you're doing your scoobing today if the market's dead. We'll see. And remember, folks, on Mondays, I usually wait till the second half of the day. Mondays are like my Fridays. Fridays and Mondays are very similar. I usually don't do anything till the second half or at least lunchtime on. So don't be in a hurry to get in on Mondays. Mondays are turnaround days, remember. Monday mornings are not the best way to trade. Mondays are usually the weakest day. Remember the class I had over the weekend? Remember turnaround? You guys remember all that? Okay. Ooh, scanning strategies. Ooh, that's going to be fun. You guys want to attend? That's going to be really, really good. I'm actually trying to get my TC trading view to work think or swim right now. That's actually what I'm working on in my scanning strategy. All right, bond market weaker. US dollar. Let's talk about the US dollar. US dollar is still coming up. This is actually good for the economy, not great for the stock market, but we're right at the 8-day EMA. This is a very, 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 very steep fall. When we have a fall like that, I want to recover, you know the number, 60% of this move. We haven't recovered 60% of this move. We haven't even recovered 30 or 40% of this move. I'd want to see us come all the way up here. This is a very steep move, and if this turns around, this will just be another leg down. Okay, so let's be very cautious here with the next move. There's a good chance it could just consolidate here, consolidate, and start coming right back down. So be careful. This is a real big move. This is a real, real big move here. We have to respect this move. This is not a random move right here. And again, this recovery, we got to get above these levels, and we're just at the 8-day right now. We're not even at the we're not even at the 15. We're not even at the VWAP. So I wouldn't be holding my breath here. Okay. Wouldn't be holding my breath. Gold. Oh boy. Now, okay, I don't want to get into this. I don't want to get into the whole I hate to say I told you so, but I drew one line for you right here, and I drew another line for you here. I erased the line that was here on Friday after I told you after I said I hate to say I told you so once. I told you we're going to go lower. We need to get all the way to this level. Well, guess what? We're finally at this level. And yes, if anybody says I didn't tell you this when we were up here, is just a bald-faced liar, because all you have to do is go back to the video. I've said it several, like 30 times. Did I not say it? Did I not tell you this? Right here, remember the levels, the trajectory of the move right here? This is way too much. Markets don't move that way. We've talked about it indefinitely. And if you look at silver, you will see we actually went below this level. Yeah, this is too high of a trajectory as well. And now we're at the 50-day moving average, which is expected. Good for you. Yeah, yeah. We talked about it repeatedly. Yes, repeatedly. Remember, don't go buying here, overextended. 30 times. Exactly. Probably 60 times. Yeah. Marlon. Good morning, Marlon. Yeah, I've been telling you. Yeah, I've been talking about it for a while now. And saved you money. Good. I told you. Now, if you want to know what the trajectory. Now, let me just add one more little piece now. This is new information, okay? So, so for gold, look, for gold, the trajectory is like right here. Look. This is the trajectory, okay? For gold. Right here. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. This is the trajectory for gold, okay? Right here. This is the long-term trajectory. This is all bullshit. This right here, that's the long-term trajectory. This is the short-term trajectory. This is the long-term trajectory right here, right here. Let me do the same, which would put us right at the 200-day moving average, which would be at 37.86. And then gold can go higher if it wants to. For silver, let me do the trajectory for you. All I'm doing is just going back to the trend, to the main trend. I'm not doing anything special here. I'm not predicting the future for you. Look at the look at the trajectory. At the most, this is the most. It's actually right here. Okay? It's actually right there. 43. This is the trajectory. You see what I'm talking about? The natural movement over time. This is called crazy shit. This is called manipulation. This is called people going crazy. This is called emotional buying. That does not sustain itself. The trajectory, the meat of the move sustains itself. The 200 look at the trajectory. Look at where the 200-day moving average is, 43, okay? Look at gold. Look at gold. Look where the trajectory is. Right here. All I did was just go back and draw the trajectory for you. That's all I did. I don't know how to predict the future. I don't know how to anticipate what's going to happen. All I know is how to draw charts. Okay? Okay. This I didn't get this number out of my ass. I'm getting it out from the trend itself. Just like this. This is the current trajectory. But this is the actual long-term trajectory right here. This is short-term trajectory. This is long-term trajectory. Okay. Okay. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear everybody made money. And if you didn't make money, then you just didn't listen to me. You just ignored me, which people do sometimes. It doesn't work out well. Crude oil. Remember, I told you this. We need to see what happens here. What I'm afraid is happening here may happen to the U.S. dollar, just coming right back down. So crude oil just came right back to the 200-day moving average. Okay, and if it breaks the 200-day moving average, it'll come back here. And if you look at the main trend, which, and I've shown you this many, many, many times, I've shown you, look, every time it rallies, it comes back to the 200. Look, once, twice, three times, four times, five times, six times, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 13 is right here. Every time. So see, this is still a downtrend. I could draw a trend line right here. See that? That's a downtrend. There's actually a channel here. Oh God, this is okay. Oops. It doesn't want to let go. Doesn't want to let go. Okay. There's a channel there. It's an ugly channel, but you could see this channel right here. And the next level is right here, 52. See how it just kind of goes up and down this channel? And every time it breaks, it comes back to the 200-day moving average. Folks, visual testing is your best friend. Stop those fancy schmancy technical indicators. They're not going to do you any good. Okay? Folks, if you're just coming in here, I'm doing this because we have about double the number. If you're just coming in here, please. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Wayne. Good morning, Mr. Costa Blanca. Good morning, Trader Momo. Good morning, Alex. Alex, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing, Mr. Alex? Alex. Randy, Wesley, Carla. Good morning. Gracielle, Hopium Addict. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Actually, Alex, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you've been doing okay. Let me know how you've been. Quality, 1080p. Make sure you're watching at 1080p and give us a thumbs up. And yeah, I was actually thinking about you. I was like, I haven't seen Alex in a while. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. We got PMA Pilot here. We got Gregory. Good morning. Good morning, Kevin, Mr. Costa Blanca. Yeah. Believe it or not, but I do remember your names. And I do remember if you guys come here or not. I have a pretty good memory. Okay. I've been told by a few people a few times. Okay. All right. So this move right here, be cautious, okay? Be cautious. Be cautious that this can just completely undo itself and come back down here, okay? This is your channel. It's a very wide channel, but it seems to be holding pretty well, actually. Okay. Been to Davis on a big project, now back to normal life. Well, stay in touch. Stay in touch, Alex. Good to see you. Always good to see you here. Thanks, Rip and Dips. I appreciate it. All right, China. China is a catalyst today. I'm pretty sure Minnesota Matt is going to tell us that, but they're down really sharp. Remember, this is the overnight session. Now, over this weekend, I spent about 30 minutes going through last night. What I did was I was debating whether I should use the Hang Seng index or another Chinese index instead of this one. And I found out a few things. The Hang Seng doesn't really represent China 100%. It represents Hong Kong more, although it's a little more liquid. And then I looked at a couple of other Chinese assets, and they all look exactly like this. So I could replace this for another one, but it's going to look just like this. Basically, we're kind of screwed if we're going to look at China. I can't find a more, I want to find a better asset to track China, and I really can't. So till I do, I'm going to continue using this. I remember Cam, not Raleigh. I remember Cam suggested the Hang Seng index. The problem is it's more of a Hong Kong index than a China index, and it doesn't really do it. It doesn't really help us that much. This is the top 50 Chinese stocks. The problem is we're getting their night session, so we're not really seeing what the chart looks like. The chart really is down to here right now. They're down quite a bit. Okay, but just understand we kind of have limited availability. Okay, when it comes to China, China's down today. Bitcoin. Do you guys remember last week I mentioned to you, I said there's a support level here. And I also said that we've been consolidating for quite a long time. I said the Italian boot. I gave you the Italian boot example, which ended right here. This was the boot. And I said the longer we consolidate, the better the odds we're going to start trending. And I said that there's a major trend line here. And lo and behold, what happened over the weekend? We broke the trend line. And if anybody says I did not tell you this last week, then you're just lying. Because I did. I said the longer the trend, the longer we consolidate, the higher the odds we're going to have a big breakdown. And we broke down over the weekend. Okay. Can we trade Chinese tech index? Let me check. Let me check it. K. Let's see. K Web. I didn't check this one last night. Let me check it. No. That's the internet. No. That's just their internet. I want their 50 of their biggest stocks. That's not going to work. I want a large cap. I want their index, the broad market. No, it's not going to work. Okay, so Bitcoin. We have a breakdown on Bitcoin, and yes, I did tell you this last week. Good morning, everyone. I'm really late this morning. Mark. Good morning, Mark. Good morning to you as well. Good morning to you as well. So we're finally broken. And by the way, don't say I didn't tell you this. I warned you about that as well here on this show. Okay. Minnesota Matt, do you want to start with the catalysts? Meanwhile, I'll crank up TC 2000 and get ready for our levels in a few minutes. Good thing about TC 2000, it opens really quickly. You want me to look at KBA? I'll take a look at KBA. KBA. Let me see this. Free float adjusted market cap weighted designed to track the equity market performance large cap. It's not bad, actually. I'll look at this a little more later. It's a little. I think this takes the market cap away. Yeah, no, it's not going to work. I want something that has market cap. So anyway, I'm still debating whether we should do Hang Seng or not. All right. I use uh I download it on my software. Oh, Tiva's not doing bad today. That's good to see. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the stock market. I'm waiting for Matt and others to give us catalysts. I wrote down my catalysts right here. I have them all ready, but I'm going to wait for Matt and others to. Oh, there he is. Miss Disney Consumer Discretionary. Let's see what Matt has. Charlie and Matt have chips, mags, infotech, China, crypto, and Fed data. And Charlie has Fed, metals, China, Japan. I don't have Japan. I have China. Chips, crypto. Yes, definitely crypto. Infotech. Infotech is telecom. Consumer staples. Matt, you missed consumer staples, and Charlie missed consumer discretionary. See, together you guys make up a good team. So let me tell you what I've got. I've got chips, infotech, crypto, consumer discretionary, consumer staples, healthcare. Healthcare. You guys missed healthcare. We got healthcare. Okay. And China. That's what I've got. So together we do well. Send me an email if you have an idea for me about China using a different index. Send me an email, please. I want to hear from you. Okay, because if there's a better asset we can use than than that, then I'd like to use it if I can. It's okay, Minnesota Matt. I love Lucy. She is so adorable. She is so cute. That dog is just adorable. Yeah, metals are definitely still yeah, metals are still it's true. Metals are still in. Basically metals never lost their we haven't lost the catalyst for metals. They started it last week, but they're still a catalyst. That's true. Info tech, crypto, consumer discretionary, consumer staples, healthcare, China and chips. That's okay. You guys are doing a great job. Doing a great job. Great job. And together, you guys really helped me. I'm going to pull up the bond market here. Yeah, bond market's not looking great this morning. Okay. So lower open on Wall Street as investors continue to sell risky assets amid a rout in precious metals, which is clearly telling us that metals um, are still in play. Gold and silver prices fell on Monday. Gold and silver are down more than 3% after sliding 10 and 16%. Ay vey. Last week, also waiting on sentiment is Oracle and Nvidia. That's going to bruise tech stocks today. That's infotech and that's chips. Not good. Um, he said basically that the deal with AI, OpenAI, is not a commitment. It's just they're talking about it. New round of corporate earnings, remarks from the Fed, slew of U.S. labor market data, assuming there is no prolonged government shutdown. I'm not expecting a government shutdown. I'm not going to talk about what happened on Friday because we already know what happened on Friday. But as far as Fed data, U.S. Producers Price Index was a little bit stronger than expected, but not too bad. It really wasn't that bad. Unemployment seems like it has stabilized. Um, Now, St. Louis Fed president on Friday said that policymakers should refrain from cutting interest rates for now to avoid reigniting inflationary pressure. I could not agree with him more. Aside from risking higher or more persistent inflation, easing could be counterproductive for the labor market by raising inflation expectations. And I agree with him 1,000%. Ralph Bostic said elevated inflation means officials should wait before cutting interest rates again. He's right again. Same thing. We're still too high of inflation, so I think we need to be somewhat restrictive. I agree with them. Remember what I said, summer. Sometimes in the summer we'll be ripe. Michelle Bowman, I want to always like to hear what she has to say. There's merit in waiting to cut rates. They're all saying the same thing, and they're agreeing with me. Or I'm agreeing with them. Elevated inflation, uncertainty over possible distortion in economic data. She's 100% on the table. Waller said monetary policy is still restrictive. They're all saying pretty much we need to wait. We just need to sit tight and wait. And I couldn't agree with them more. They're thinking March. I'm thinking June, July. Not, just one. I'm always one behind them or one ahead of them. Okay. Government shutdown rumor persists. There's not going to be a government shutdown. They can't afford to have two in a row. Just when we caught up to the last one. We've got a lot of earnings this week, folks, including Google, Amazon, AMD, Qualcomm. So earnings are not over. After this week, this is going to be the main event, and after this week, we're going to cool off, and I'm going to try to get you an updated earnings update, so we could see how things are going. Okay, all right. We'll be waiting for non-farm payroll. This is the big report this week. I mentioned to you right here. This is the big daddy, and ADP is going to reflect on it. Tomorrow we have JOLTS, and today we have PMI and ISM. The ISM may be interesting at 10 o'clock. Please don't do anything. Liquidation mode till 10 o'clock, okay? Liquidation mode till 10 o'clock. Okay. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. We're doing good. We're doing good on time. Manufacturing today, this is what I mentioned. This is the 10 o'clock report. This is the 9:45, 10 o'clock report we have coming down today. Europe is down very little, surprisingly, steadying after a sharp drop at the open as defensive stocks advanced. You may see defensive stocks like healthcare stocks go up today because speculative stocks are taking it under the chin. Usually, when speculative stocks take it under the chin, you see consumer staples, cigarettes, and healthcare and utilities rise. Okay, so don't be surprised if you see a little upside in in healthcare and basically defensive stocks. Europe is down a little bit. Energy slumped. Oil prices plunged on easing U.S.-Iran tensions. That was expected. Tech stocks slid after NVIDIA CEO dialed back apparent commitment of 100 billion to OpenAI, while Oracle said it plans to raise 50 billion this year. Oracle's actually on my short list today. It was not easy finding stocks to go long today, and it was very easy to find stocks to the short side today. I'm going to repeat that. It was very difficult to find good stocks going long today, and it was very easy to find stocks going short today. Not a typical occurrence, okay? And folks, if you're just coming in here right now, and I know a lot of folks are just coming in here right now, here is link for the VIP room where I will be talking about levels. You guys wanted me to show you how to draw those levels? Well, guess what? Today I'm going to talk about levels, my oscillator, options, volatility, my top stocks. We're going to have a really good session today in the VIP room. Here is my Telegram channel where I actually post a lot of free stuff, including my levels. And by the way, if you're just coming in here right now, here is the earnings for the week ahead. Earnings for the week ahead with implied volatility levels already priced in for you, okay? Okay, let's continue. China closed sharply lower. This is a catalyst. Following a broader regional sell-off and disappointing data, the benchmark notched its largest daily percentage drop in almost 10 months. Folks, don't go buying Chinese stocks today, okay? Don't go looking for bargains. Your nails are going to get dirty. Non-ferrous metal stocks led the decline. Remember, they're holding a lot of metals right now. And with Kevin Warsh now succeeding Powell, we have a lot more certainty in that regard. Monday's gold prices tumbled after President Trump nominated Kevin Warsh to succeed Jerome Powell. That gives us a lot more certainty in the market. And China's holding a lot of metals. That's a catalyst for today. Japan reversed earlier gains, closed lower today. Risk sentiment soared. Nikkei initially climbed as much as 1.7%. They wanted to go up. Weaker yen is what's causing it. Support-oriented stocks led an election poll pointing to a potential landslide win for party of Takaichi. All right, we'll see how that goes. As far as catalysts, chip stocks, infotech, chip stocks, mags, currency stocks, consumer discretionary. Here's your consumer staple, and here's your healthcare right there. Okay. Okay, let's talk about the broad market. Let's talk about a broad market. All right. Just watch the video, Mark. It's all there. I explained how to use data miner to make money on earnings. It's all there for you, buddy. It's all there for you. Put the call ratio. We're starting to get a little bit bearish. We're not overly bearish, but we're starting to get this is telling us that call buyers are getting slightly ahead of themselves here. as of Friday here. Call buyers getting a bit ahead of themselves. Okay, getting a little bit ahead of themselves. A little bit ahead of themselves. We're right at the threshold. So don't be surprised to see a little profit taking today or loss taking. I don't know why they call it profit taking instead of loss taking, but we're near this level. And anytime we get near this level, we tend to sell, we need to get back. So today's definitely a defensive day. Friday call buyers got a little bit ahead of themselves. This is when put buyers get ahead of themselves. This is when call buyers get ahead of themselves. When you have too many call buyers, you have put buyers stepping in. When you have too many put buyers, call buyers step in. This is too many call buyers. Okay. Means the sentiment is getting too bullish right here as of Friday. As you could see, this doesn't we don't come to these levels very often. Okay. Momentum levels. Momentum levels. 90-day high, only 90, not even 100. We don't have clear path to the upside. What about downside? You got a clear path to the downside. What about 20-day highs and lows? 196 versus 160 means you still have momentum both ways. Volatility, I mentioned this to you last week. I was talking about Penny going, she went long right here, and then she got out with a profit. And I was saying how we never backed away from this level right here. Even when the market was making new highs, we did not back away from here. We did not come down here. And I thought that was very interesting. And I mentioned that to you all last week. And don't pretend you didn't hear it, because you did. I mentioned it about 3 days in a row. I said, market's making all-time highs, but we can't break this level. This is a support. Does anybody not remember me saying that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right. 4, 5, 6 times a year, Cam. That sounds about right. All right. Put the call ratio. Things are looking fairly stable. Again, I'm not liking the NASDAQ. It never got out of this area right here. At least now it looks this way. We don't have a lot of stocks on the NASDAQ breaking out. The NASDAQ technology is not our friend right now. Russell's okay. S&P's okay. Um, NASDAQ is not our friend right now. Not our friend. By the way, basic materials, remember this was at 100? It's now at 96. Energy, remember it was at 100? It's now at 95. It's starting to give us a little back. Sectors are not looking too bad, actually. This is the only thing I'm really having problems with right here. Okay. Looking at the SPY is peaked out, made an all-time high, and is now approaching the 50-day moving average, and it's pretty calm over here. There's a lot of here. We're kind of again back in this little channel right here, and we're approaching the 50-day moving average. We're probably going to bounce off the 50-day today. We're probably going to wick here. We're going to probably pull one of these. You see these wicks, how it hits the 50 and backs off? I wouldn't be surprised if that happened today. It's actually might have already kind of happening right now. So this is our support level. If we break that, we've got the 100. If we break that, we're in deep shit. Okay. We're not anywhere near there, however. We're just consolidating. Roger, how come it's been very difficult to swing trade lately? Do you see any movement from the market? Do you see the market going up or down, really? It's flat. It's flat, flat, flat. Do you think you're going to make a lot of money on swing trades in this market? Yeah. Okay. QQQ. What's the QQQ doing? It's already broke the 50-day and it's almost at the 100. The good news is we tend to back down at the 100 and we have this trend line developing right here. Okay. That's 3 touches. 1, 2, 3. We don't want to see this break. If the break, we have the next level right here. We want to see this hold. It's already wicking. We want to get above the 50-day as soon as possible. Okay. No, Fred. Other stocks have been on a constant uptrend, not FedEx. There's other stocks, and I'll show you several of them. Uh, FedEx actually looks very pretty, but several stocks have been on an uptrend. Okay, this looks so. This I'm looking for QQQ to bottom. SMH. SMH is at our VWAP, and I'm looking for this trend line right here, just like on the NASDAQ. See the NASDAQ? Look, see how we have this trend line right here, the lower trend line? I have that lower trend line right here, right here. So if this trend line holds, then we should theoretically go right here, somewhere right here, which would put us right at the 50-day moving average. Now, I'm going to say this again twice so that when it happens, you guys don't come running to me and say, "Oh, you never told us that. How dare you?" Remember, I told you that we're going to come down right here? Last week, we were up here and I said there's too much space and we're going to come down to this level. And I drew this for you. Well, look at where we're at right now. We were here. I told you right here that we were going to come down right here. We're almost there. And now I'm telling you, we're probably going to come down even further, down to here. I don't want to hear anybody sending me emails or saying, you never told us that. You never told. I'm telling you this right now. And I'm going to say it again. We're not done yet. We need to come down here. And if we break here, we have right here. Does everybody understand what I just said? I don't use stock charts. No, I don't. I've used it a few times. I mean, they're fine. I'm just used to using this. I've used this for 25, almost 30 years. And by the way, this used to be a bar chart was strictly designed for the futures market. Their stock stuff was just an add-on. Basically, this whole thing is this futures structure. Okay. All of these indicators, all this stuff, it's all futures, futures, futures. The stock stuff was all an afterthought here. This was started out as a futures site. Trust me, I've been using it for decades. Okay, mags. What are mags doing? Mags are breaking our VWAP right here, which is not great. What one good thing is we really haven't gone anywhere here. One of the silver linings is we haven't really gone anywhere. And again, this makes swing trading next to impossible because look, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You don't have any follow through. You need to have some follow through. You need to have some momentum. Hardly any follow through on mags. And we already know that we got two stocks, two mega caps today that are, where's my, and we already know AMD, Marvell, Oracle, Nvidia. So you already know this is not that this is not going to do well today. This is not on the way up right now. Okay. So not good. I don't like this. I don't like the trajectory here. I don't like, I mean, this one looks like it's building support. I don't like SMH. I don't like MAGs. I don't like the bond market. Don't like any of it. IWM. Let's look at small caps. Small caps, look at that. I drew this for you last week. The next level is the 50-day moving average. Okay. We've been actually doing really well, but we've been doing this for quite some time. And we've been very patient lately. And yes, the pit still has 45 or 50 winners in a row, and we haven't had a loser since October 13th. And we do 1 to 2 trade a day. Okay, Russell 2000. None of this looks good. None of this looks good. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. None of this is making me feel warm and fuzzy. Okay? Okay. What about sectors? Let's look at sectors. Okay. Remember I told you last week I expect technology to start coming off? Energy, utilities, consumer staples. It's too fragmented. You got semiconductors and utilities next to each other. You got energy and communication next to each other. That's not what you want to see. Look at where consumer discretionary is. It's all the way down here. Look where home builders is. This is interest rates. Look where Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is usually a leading. Look where Russell is. Okay. Look where technology is. Technology is not up here. Look a week ago. Semiconductors, communication, consumer discretionary, QQQ, technology. See, it was on top. Look at it today. Consumer discretionary, technology, QQQ. Semiconductors are the only, industrial semiconductors are the only things that are up here. Okay. And with Iran getting a little bit of relief With energy down, I expect industrial to come down as well a little bit. So this is very mixed up. There's absolutely no directional bias in the market at all. And as I mentioned to you, we're actually favoring momentum is actually favoring the short side. We have 164 versus 90. Anything less than 100 does not give us a clear path to the upside. And there was hardly any A lines. If there was no nice A lines today. Usually, when we start moving higher, I see a whole bunch of nice A lines and I add them to my list for you. And I couldn't do that today. Okay. Hey, look at that. We almost have 800 people here. Folks, if you're just coming in here, please give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up, which here, give us here. Make sure you're watching at 1080p. I'm about to get into levels. Make sure you're watching at 1080p and give us a thumbs up if you guys benefit from this show. Okay. I don't want to force your hand, only if you benefit from this show. Okay. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it. Okay. Let me give you guys levels. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Let me give you guys levels. Let's do this. SPY. Look at that. Look at that. This is from Friday's levels, guys. This is from Friday's levels. Look at that. Look at that. This is all from Friday's levels, guys. You got to start using these levels, and I'll show you today how to use these levels, okay? In the VIP room, I'm going to show you how to use these levels step by step. Who's going to be in the VIP room today joining me? Say me if you're going to be in the VIP room joining me today. Okay, right there. And right there. All right. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Here, I'll give you some more goodies here. There. Excellent. All right. Let me give you these levels, okay? I'm spreading them out. I'm doing this. This picture is going to be about 22 inches by 8, okay? It's a big picture. It's as wide as my entire screen, okay? All right. Okay. SPY levels. There you go. QQQ. Let's do QQQ. I'm just going to delete this. It's complicated because you got Sunday overnight levels and you've got Monday overnight and you got Monday morning levels. So you got a couple of different things to look at here. Okay. If we break these levels, I just want you to know something. If we break this low, look, see the slow right here? Look, we don't have anything here all the way till 21st, 22nd. So there's a big air pocket here, right here. There's a big air pocket here. So if we break this level, we tried breaking it earlier today, and it went straight up afterwards. You got to keep an eye on this 614.55 level. That's very dangerous right here. This level right here, the 614.55, very important level, okay? Right here. This level is very important. I'm telling you, write down 614.55. Write that down, okay? Folks, please, 614.55 on QQQ. That's a very important level. No joke, very important level. Okay. All right, let me get you this. I got to get out of here in about 5 minutes. QQQ levels. Here's SMH levels. Let's draw those. Sloppy levels overnight, by the way. Sloppy levels for the first part of the night. Okay, right there. Again, we don't have anything here all the way till the 21st of last month. So be really careful. Be really careful right here at 393.99. 393.99, okay? 393.99. Be careful at that level. Okay, there's SMH level for you. QQQ. Let's do IWM. I hate rushing to work. I went a little beyond and above. Again, keep an eye here. Look at this. We haven't been below this level, folks. The one we hit today. We haven't been there since here. So keep an eye on that level, 256.64, 256.64. It's a very important, these lows that we've been hitting are very important because if we go back there today, it ain't going to be pretty. I got to have to tell Matt that. Uh, Russell 2000 levels. And let me give you bond market. Ooh, the bond market. Look at how well my levels have been holding. Okay, let's delete this one. You know what? I don't have to make any changes from Friday. Here, just have to add one here. Okay. Very sloppy price action overnight, but it is what it is. Let me give this to you. Yeah, Oracle is up, giving us a little tailwind. Very nice. Very, very nice. Like to see that. Okay, here's the bond market for you. There's the bond market levels. All right, now let me give you stocks that I'm looking at, and I got to go sayonara. SoFi. And my short list looks much better than the long list today. Okay. Let's see what the SPY's doing right now. And the SPY's going up, which is fantastic. Finally broke the 200-day moving average. Okay. SoFi. Roblox. PayPal. Lift. Lift needs a lift. Finally broke the 200. Shopify. Now, you know how I'm talking about weakness coming into chip stocks? That's a nice short. Well, Qualcomm seems to be the weakest large cap chip stock. I'm going to repeat that again. Qualcomm seems to be the weakest large cap chip stock. So if you're looking to short chips, you don't want to go with the strongest. You want to go with the weakest. You understand? And BBY, Best Buy. I talked about the dollar index. I talked about it. Best Buy is on the chopping block. I've been spending a lot of money at Best Buy lately. Now let me show you my longs. KMI, not a lot of longs. And it's not that great of a long either. Devon still looks pretty good. Coming down, but still looks pretty good right here off of here. Guild. Again, there's not a lot of good looking stocks right now. Guild's looking good, a little overextended. Not a lot of good looking stocks right now. FedEx still looks attractive. Philip Morris. That's not a good sign, by the way, when Philip Morris is looking attractive. And also BTI. A friend of mine works or used to work for this company, used to be one of the managers there. That's a nice look. BTI. Cardinal Health. Cardinal Health is looking like it wants to break out here. Again, it wasn't easy finding good stocks for the long side, and it was effortless finding stocks for the short side. That's a nice look right there. New York Times. All right, folks. Folks, it's Monday. Usually, I'm very, very cautious till the second half of the day. There's a lot of turbulence in the market right now. Please be cautious. Please be cautious, okay? Here's the link to the VIP room at noon, where I'll be talking about some really cool stuff, including how to do levels, how to use margin the right way, when you should do the underlying, all the good stuff. I'll be talking about that. How to get confirmation on your trades. And here is Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show. I have to go to work. Clyde doesn't do everything for me. I will see you later. That's right. Listen to Angie. These are not issue trades. These are stocks on my watch list. These are stocks that I'm watching right now. That's all it is. I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic day. Anybody has a question, roger@rogerscott.com. Roger@rogerscott.com. I have to get out of here right now, and I'll see you later. Have a great day, everybody. Bye. Please be careful. We have a lot of data this week. I'm not loving the stock market right now. I want to be proven really wrong. I don't want to hit those levels to the downside. There's a big air pocket there right now. We don't have a lot of momentum to the upside. We have defensive sectors and cigarettes rallying right now. I smell a rat, okay? Be cautious for the next 24 hours at least, okay? Also, we have a lot of earnings coming on this week, so the party's not over yet. A lot of things can happen, okay? I'll see you guys later. Have a